Hello, and good evening. I don't plan on being here terribly long, but you know me, I can talk, so it depends. But I'm also walking, so I ain't gonna die on camera because it's hot. But I was having a conversation today with a girlfriend, and which is why I'm on this live. I said, we're gonna talk about this, and I didn't want to talk about it on Sunday, so I'm gonna talk about it today. Because it's important to have this conversation in 2020 about child support. So, of course, I always give my disclaimer, I don't have any children. Hey, Nikki Noel. I don't have any children, but I was once a child who was raised in a single parent home, and this is why we were having this conversation. And so it all makes sense in the end. For anyone out there who is complaining about paying child support, let me tell you something. And no, I'm not bashing anybody who's paying child support. I just want to give a different perspective. Child support is great, especially for all the consistent child support payers. Kudos to you in the money regard. But this is for those who only pay child support and think that that's enough. Children cannot hug money. They cannot receive affirmations. They cannot be tucked in at night by money. They cannot be shown how to be a lady or a gentleman or even just a good human being based on the money you send. So for those that only just pay child support, I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not doing enough. And the reason why you're not doing enough is because children deserve to have parents that are active in their life and not just showing up putting money in an account. Not just showing up making sure that that child is fed. Not just showing up making sure that that child has clothes for the next school year, which are going to be too small in 4 months anyway, because children grow. Children deserve to have parents in their lives, regardless if those parents are together or not, who agree to be the best parents to those children. We know that sometimes situations don't work. We know sometimes people don't match well. And unfortunately, they made a child, but fortunately, the child is here. And now you have to figure out how to raise a child and show the child that you are good human beings in spite of having a not so good relationship. I didn't have that opportunity. There was never any child support. There was never any father who showed me what a gentleman should be or how a lady should be treated. And I would challenge anyone who is experiencing this, who is going through this in 2020 with all the other stuff happening, show up for your child. Show up in whatever capacity that you can, not just monetarily. Show up as your authentic self. Tell them when you aren't having the best days so they can process how to deal with things, so they aren't always upset, so that they know that it's okay to be upset, so they can see the sting of disappointment, so they can tell you that they're upset that you didn't call or you didn't show up or that mommy and daddy can't be together and they're mad about it. Show up for that. Because if they're not talking to you about it, they may not be talking to anybody about it. And they need to talk to somebody about how they feel, how to put words to what they feel, and to process living with or without their parents in their lives together in one family unit. We need to be willing to stop the dysfunctions of our families. And that means we have to show up, even when it's ugly, even when it doesn't feel good. And if you aren't paying child support, I would even reckon to say if you're showing up, not paying child support is okay. Now, there might be some parents that disagree with me, but I remember talking to a friend. I'm sorry, I got to cross the street. I remember talking to another friend who said, my child's father doesn't necessarily pay me a consistent child support, not even much to even write home about, doesn't do much on the book end for this child. But whenever our child has a function, a play, a concert, a band, a this, a that, the other, that parent is present. That parent shows up. That parent helps put together science projects. That parent helps make sure that all the Valentine's cards are properly addressed and have the right amount of candy in each one. You cannot equate money to time spent. If you are showing up for your children, they will remember that far more than, oh, my dad or my mom used to send me money every month to make sure that my mom or dad could meet my needs, the one who's taking care of me. What is that? Why are we doing that to our children? Why are we allowing money to dictate how much we love them or don't love them, consistently or not? Because what happens when the money runs out, or you lose your job, or you have another kid and more money is taken out for that child as well? So the money dwindles. We have got to learn to show up for each other, which is why I'm pressing so hard about showing up for yourself. Because if you show up for yourself, you wouldn't have a problem showing up for somebody else. So we got to do the work. Don't be upset or dismissive or be like, oh, what's she talking about? She'll know what she's talking about. I am the product of a family that was broken, that did not have child support in the home, did not have a father in the home showing up for me because he couldn't show up for himself. So I know what it's like. I would never want to do that to a kid. I would never want a kid to feel like I'm the reason why they don't have self-worth, or they don't have self-esteem, or they don't feel like they're of value because their parent doesn't show up for them, or their parent doesn't make good on their promises, or that parent doesn't attend their functions, or go to the daddy-daughter dance, or help them walk down the 50-yard line for homecoming. Whatever the case may be, we have to start making amends, because children don't ask to be here. And I guarantee you, if there was a vending machine that children could pick their parents, they would pick parents that show up every single time. So why wouldn't you want to show up for that child? Now, for those of you who like to spread your seed all over the great continental USA, and you have multiple children in multiple states, and you don't see any or half of them regularly and consistently, you have to figure it out. I don't care if you do a Zoom meeting every week. Figure it out. I don't care if you plan a family vacation every summer. Figure it out. If you are raising yourself and you have children that you are not raising, you are not doing a good job. Just accept it. You are a subpar human being at best. And your children, although they may worship the dirty ground that you walk on, they will eventually come to realize that you did not do the best that you could by them. And then they'll start to look for affirmations and worth and validation in other things, in other people, in other places. And anybody with any smooth talking will be able to persuade them or sway them or convince them that they're everything to them. And it's going to be unhealthy. It's going to be unsettling. And it could be very well abusive. But you know what? Sounds kind of like you, don't it? It's a hard mirror to look at when you have to reflect that you aren't being adequate in your child's life. So yes, child support is never enough. I don't care how much money you send. I don't care how much the judge orders. If you are not actively in your child's life on a regular and consistent basis to the point that they know that they are loved and they are valued and they are cared for, you got work to do. And for the parents who are actively raising their children, I'm going to challenge you too. Because I was that person who was actively being raised by one of these people. So let me just tell you this, and I'll move on down to my next topic. If you are actively raising your children in a single parent home, it is your responsibility to protect your child and not bash their other parent. Let me tell you why. They will resent you. Let them come to the truth of the knowledge of who the other person is on their own. They may know that you're right. They may even have an inkling that everything you're saying is factual. But you will do far more damage to the children by bashing the other parent than giving them the opportunity to love from a place of no conditions and to learn from a place of understanding. We do not give children enough credit. We do not give children permission to feel on their own. And then once they feel on their own, we don't give them permission to expose how they feel so that they can talk to us in a safe space. When you bash the other parent, you take away some of that safety. Because remember, you made the decision to have a child, to procreate, to marry, to engage, to make something else from that person that you entered into a relationship, situationship, or bedroom with. And a part of that person is tucked away in your child. So don't bash them. Because you may not think you are, but you are also sending a subliminal message to that child that some of their self-worth is tainted, not worthy, not lovable, because a part of them can be found in the other parent as well. I'm gonna let y'all sit on that one because some of y'all are guilty. And it's okay if you are one of those people. But you gotta make a decision to stop behaving in that manner. You gotta make a decision to fight for the soul, sanity, and peace, and purpose, and will over your children's lives. That doesn't include bashing, or your resent, or your animosity towards the person you shared a bed with. Just saying. So, next topic. So we're talking about child support, talking about bashing parents. The next one is the pursuit of the chase, the court, whatever you want to call it. All right, people. It's 2020. We're in a pandemic. COVID-19 is racking the city, the state, the country. Please stop telling people you want to be in a relationship and you ain't about that life. Please don't be on here getting all offended when people tell you that you gaslighting, you showing out, you pretentious. If what you are looking for, you aren't actively pursuing. If what you are looking for, you aren't actively pursuing, then you might need to sit this one out. Sit it out. It's okay to be single. It's okay not to flirt. It's okay not to be in people's DMs and inboxes and text messages talking about how fine you are and how attractive you are and how I want to have sex with you or whatever it is we do in 2020. You know what I'm talking about. See, I'm a Christian, but I ain't stupid. So if you are trying to be pursued or trying to pursue, get creative. Take the risk. Whatever that looks like for you. But if you are not about that life, if you do not want to spend your time, effort, energy pursuing a man, woman, or whomever, sit out. Get on the bench. Watch the game from the sidelines. Everybody doesn't need to be in a relationship right now. Everybody can't handle a relationship right now. And if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you shouldn't be trying to flirt with nobody. No way. You need to flirt with yourself. You need to flirt with your self-esteem. You need to flirt with your self-confidence. You need to flirt with your credit score. You need to flirt with your personal hygiene. And when you get all those things that you think are lacking in your life, not saying you got to be perfect. Nobody's looking for perfection. If you are, you too need to sit the game out. Because nobody's perfect. And God is not available to date you in that manner. But if you are looking for something, it ministers to your spirit. It speaks to your soul. It marinates well in your heart. You got some work to do. Which means you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to put forth the effort. You're going to have to act like this is important to you. You can't be afraid to take the risk. because somebody else is out there doing the same thing you're doing, showing up, putting forth the energy, taking the risk. And if they're willing to take the risk, what's up then? What's up then? It's too much talking and not enough putting feet to paper, putting feet to pavement. If you are about that life, show that person you about that life. If not, sit out the game. Sit out the game, son. Sit out the game, ma'am. Because there's too many people willing to give their all to the right person. And if you taking up room with the wrong person, you messing up somebody's opportunity for that right person. I had to cross the street again. Shout outs to all the people who are actively pursuing relationships amidst the pandemic, amidst racial tension, amidst backwards conversations about life. Those that are having honest, reflective conversations about what they desire, what they fear, what they're happy about, what frustrates them. Shout outs to y'all, because it's necessary. Life still continues to happen. So should love, so should the pursuit of love. We shouldn't stop doing it because we're scared. We shouldn't be scared. Not on my watch. So if you fall into any of those categories, reevaluate yourself. And if you feel like maybe she's right, I'm not ready, sit this one out. 2021 might be ready for you, but this ain't your game, player. And of course, I like to ramble, so I always put in other things. Today's been a day. Y'all, ain't even gonna lie. I woke up this morning. I thought I was going to die. I still don't feel myself. But I knew I had to show up for myself. I'm in this group, and they're always talking about showing your receipts, your sweat, your this, that, the other. And yesterday I told one of the girls I'm in bed. And everybody laughed about it. Hee hee ha ha. And I was like, no, I'm in the bed because I don't feel well. And because I just didn't feel like getting up. Like, I don't do bugs. I'm out here with my mask, my bottle of water, popping this gum. Like, I got an attitude, I don't. But I was like, I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to sweat something. Maybe I'll break a couple of inches in the process. But that's what life is all about. It's about showing up. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you don't want to. Because it's the right thing to do. And sometimes the right thing to do is the hardest thing to do. I still got to walk back home. And I keep walking because my body's saying keep going. You ain't done yet. Keep going. You can do this. It's not that hard. And even if it is, you know what? I do hard things. And I'm going to keep doing hard things until those harder things become less harder things. Because life right now is about hard things. We're in the middle of a pandemic. People are dying. People are making decisions about women's bodies and children returning to school and whether or not you can get on a plane, not get on a plane, wear a mask, not wear a mask. We got to do hard things. We got to make hard decisions, which means we got to have hard conversations even with ourselves. Y'all, rest easy. It's only Wednesday. And I keep itching out loud because I'm like, it's only the second month of hurricane season. We haven't even seen hard yet. The pandemic is here, but what about hurricane season? Life still happens. Life still happens. And you either gonna lay down and let life happen all around you, or you gonna show up in spite of life and let you happen to life. I choose to let me happen to life. I choose to show up. And when I can show up, I need to show out. Because this is the now. This is the only time you have. So every conversation should mean something. Everything you do should mean something. Every effort you put into a relationship, whether it's platonic, romantic, or otherwise, should mean something. It should be out loud and on purpose. No accidents. You should be very intentional about everything you do right now. because we're living in hard times, having to do harder things, but we're built for it. And for anyone who says, oh no, I can't do it, it's too much, I would tell you to sit out, but don't. Because you're only going to regret the things you didn't do. You're going to only regret the things that you said, oh no, that's too hard, I ain't going to do that, other people can do that. You need to live the life that you want. So that means you're going to have to do some things that you don't want to do right now so you can live that life. You might have to deny yourself. You might have to sacrifice. You might have to scale back. You might have to remind yourself that you're worth it, that you're interesting, even when people aren't interested in you. And so I said on one of my posts today, you have to learn to grow through what you're going through until the glow up is afforded you. Life is not easy. The process of life, especially given a pandemic, people killing men and women, black people specifically, being murdered in droves, and then the audacity to say it's a suicide. Sorry, y'all about to hear some music. We gonna jam for a minute. Okay, so at the very least, if you made it another day, if you go to sleep tonight and you are allowed to wake up in the morning, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to show up. Show up for you. Show up for others. Show up and show out. Show up and show out loud. Don't excuse your excellence. Don't dim your light. Don't apologize for being great. You are who you are for a reason. And other people need you to be you for a reason. Very cliche, but why would you waste time copying someone else when you are already an original? You are already an original. Created beautifully, wonderfully, fearfully made. You don't have to dim your light for someone else's. You don't have to compete. There's enough pie for everybody to eat. Let me say it again, since we live in a world with so many self-absorbed people. There is enough pie for everyone to eat. We have to get outside of ourselves. Sit in our urges sometimes to be mediocre and complacent, and show the hell up in whatever capacity, and don't apologize for it. I'd also posted, and thank you Audrey Whitaker for sending me that meme about Harvard charging $50,000 for their Zoom classes. I am no Harvard, but I know my own worth and my own excellence. So whatever I create, I'm putting a price tag on it based on my own value. If you don't agree with it, don't buy it. It's period. Period. Point blank and to the end. But trust and believe, and I say this to anyone and everyone who wants to hear it, your gifts will always make room for you. Those who know your work ethic, those who know you as a person, those who see you grind, those who watch you show up day in and day out even when you don't want to, they'll show up for you. They'll support you. Bikers are rude. Anywho, so I think that's all I got today, y'all. I am sweating. I got on my I Like Chocolate in Human Form shirt. I also have a sweatshirt. One of my dear friends, Alan Newman, makes these shirts. And if you have business, if you create things, Candace Duncan, Tiffany Hall, Jessica Lynn, if you do something with your hands, with your gift, with your talent, Songbirds, Rachel Sanders, Sharifa Stevens. You know, if you have a gift, stylist, Kirsten Thompson. I could go on and on and on. If you know those people, if you have people in your life who are creators, artists, revolutionaries, or whatever it is that they do, and they do it well, and they do it from the extension of the love that they have for themselves, show up for them. Support them. Give them their due. Don't be trying to bargain. Don't be trying to get a discount. Don't be trying to get a side hookup. Don't be saying, oh, we've been friends for 29 years. They still got bills to pay. And they may have kids to feed. And so if you love them like you say you do, support them. Show up for them. Speak into their life. When nobody else is seeing their vision, support it. Encourage it. Ask them, what do we need to do, friend? How can I support you? What do you need me to listen to? Or whatever. We got to be willing to be the village for each other. We doing hard things in 2020. We got 6 months. Some of us got less than that. Some of us got more. But right now we have this moment. So decide who's in your village. Decide who you'll support. Decide what decisions you're going to make to better yourself, to better your seed, to better your legacy, to better your vision, your mission, your purpose, your plan for your life. So that when you do take your last breath, when you do expire from this earth, people will say, he or she gave it all they got. They left everything on the floor. They showed up. They showed up for themselves. They showed up for other people. And they were authentic about it. If you live that way, if you live from a place of authenticity and love without delay, your village will come. Your tribe will show up. People will support. I'm serious, y'all. I made a 90-day resignation plan. It's time for the tribe to show up, for the village to come, and for people who say they love to show it. So I'm here loving on y'all. Child support, pursuing and courting, and many other things. I'm going to try to do a random live once a week, but I'll stick to my Sundays because that's what works for me. And before I get off, I will say a Set Apart Woman will drop, I think it's the first day of August. August 1st is a Saturday. I will probably post it on Facebook, even though it comes off the app Get Vocal, GETVOKL. It'll be just a short revamp podcast of what the season will look like. But trust and believe, if you are watching this or you watch the replay of this, if you are in a marriage, if you have a relationship that you have longevity on, weight on, healing on, redemptive, restorative discussions on, I need to see you. We're doing a series on relationships, January, February, and March of 2021. And so I need to see you. I got questions. I need to get intimate with you in conversation. I have a couple of people coming back, inviting my brother who lost his son over a year ago to do a reunion show. Having a girlfriend come on who lost her brother to suicide. Having another girlfriend come on who's going to talk about the effects and the stain of domestic violence and trusting again. Like, I want to have intimate conversations about things that really matter so we can challenge our own thinking, so that we can challenge our own relationships, so that we can challenge our efforts to heal and to restore and to begin again. Because you are afforded another opportunity to show up for yourself every time you have breath. And every opportunity that you have, you should take it. So, happy Wednesday, guys. I still have maybe another 5 minutes before I get home. Let me read some of these comments. Laura, you're welcome. You know, anytime. And Cam, you're absolutely right. If you show up for yourself, you can show up for somebody else. My mother used to say, you don't have your health, what do you have? And I would always tell people in self-care interview question, you can't pour from an empty cup. And why would you want to live off exhaust fumes anyway? It's so unhealthy. Hi, Ryan. So yeah, any questions before I let all of you beautiful people go? I'm so glad I did this. And thank you, Tiffany, for the conversation earlier. I sure appreciate you. I finally got off my butt. And I'm out here in these streets pushing through, trying to sweat real hard so I can go to sleep. But yeah, y'all, we need to pursue the lives that we want. Write your plan. Write your vision and make it plain. Don't settle for anything less than what you are worth. And if you don't know your worth, you need to sit in yourself and sit around yourself and get comfortable with yourself long enough to figure it out. Ask other people what they like about you. And then find out if you like those things about yourself. If you don't like it, change it. And if you like it but just not enough, improve upon it. That's okay too. I'm a damn good writer, but I have to practice at it. It's a gift. It's a talent. But I still have to practice at it. I still have to flex the muscle in order for it to get put to good use. I don't normally have writer's block, but if I did, I still would have to flex a muscle. So I may doodle, make lists, write a letter, because I'm also a letter writer. I do hard things when it comes to my craft. And sometimes I have to have hard conversations in light of that craft. I done wrote a few Dear John letters to family and friends. And I've also been humble enough to write a few apology letters to family and friends. But that's what showing up requires. It requires you to sit in all of the stuff that you have going on, good, bad, or in between, and handle it. Do those hard things. Your future self will thank your present self for it. Look, ask me how I know. So y'all have walked this short little walk through Key West with me. I really do appreciate each and every one of y'all for stopping by for my live. I hope everybody has a wonderful Wednesday. I hope you do something to make yourself smile. And if you're like me today, do something to make yourself sweat. I'm here for it. Get those receipts. But challenge yourself to live life out loud and on purpose. Might need to put that on a t-shirt. Don't nobody steal my idea now. I'm gonna drop that thing on Friday like hotcakes. Oh, and I got t-shirts coming. Merch, mask, t-shirts. I'm trying to do big girl things. I'm trying to be my own boss come 2021. Just like that. It's on my vision. And it's going to be just like that. Because I'm going to work it. I'm going to do hard things. So I challenge each and every one of you. Do hard things in your life. And love without delay. That's also on a t-shirt. Don't steal it. Don't steal it. I'll go ahead and give that sneak preview up too. The t-shirt line is for the saints and the ain'ts. And what that means is I got some words on some shirts that the saints ain't gonna wear. Let's just be honest. I got a couple of cuss words on a couple of shirts and I ain't ashamed about it. I got a couple of suggestive things on some shirts and I ain't ashamed about it. But I also got some things that the ain'ts ain't gonna wear. They just not. So I got a little something for everybody. That's why it's called the saints and the ain'ts. So first few products, I think they're shipped now. Once they get here, I'll post them onto my page. I'm not posting my page until all my product is here. Once my product is here, you'll see it. You can pre-order. You can discuss with me if you don't like the color I picked. You can pick another t-shirt color. That's fine too. We can talk about all those details. But I got shirts, mask, poetry, cards, you name it, I got it. I'm here for you. And I'm here for you because I do hard things. So if you want something creative, you want something personalized, you want something customed for a loved one, for a friend, to pronounce a breakup, a makeup, an engagement, I got you. If you want to brand your business, if you want to start publishing, I got you. That's what I'm here for. Virtual assistant, I do that too. I do hard things. I've had more jobs in a little bit, and I've done more things than you could ever imagine. But you know what? I did them from a place of excellence. That's why I'm gonna go ahead and start freelancing my work. And anybody who wants it, I got you. Y'all have a great evening. Don't overextend yourself. Be kind to yourself. Love on yourself. Show up for yourself. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I'll be back. I'll probably be back tomorrow night because I work overnight. Just to give y'all a heads up. So, bug. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta go because y'all know I don't do bugs. So I might have to run, and y'all will not see me run out in public. Okay, bye.